Hey guys, Randy here at eTrailer.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at some crossover toolbox brackets designed for use with the cab guard headache rack. Now, oftentimes when using the cab guard, or really any headache rack for that matter, we run into a situation to where we can't get our toolbox mounted because those brackets sit in the way. Maybe we still need the crossover bar here on top for things we want to lean them on, or we've got a couple lights mounted up there for regulations with our job, or just to stay visible while plowing or something like that. But we also need the extra storage space for some spare parts or some tools and things like that. So I think this is going to be a great solution. Get our headache rack, get our crossbar there with the end stops. We can mount our lights up there, but still pack our tools with us. So in the case we need them, they're going to be readily available. Now, just by design, when using these crossover toolbox brackets with the cab guard, it actually lifts the toolbox up a little bit off the bed rail. If you look here or over there, from the surface where our toolbox would normally sit to the top of our bracket, we're picking up 2 inches. So that's going to give us some additional space underneath that toolbox in case we need to stick a few more items underneath there. Now, this gives us full length coverage here. You see from the very back edge to the very front edge where it meets up with the cab guard, it's going to be 21.5 inches. And something I like is that you're going to get the carriage bolts and the nylon lock nuts that you need to secure it. And the holes are already pre-drilled, so there's no modifications you need to make to the cab guard or to the bracket to get them to work together. Overall, I really like this product. I think it's very sturdy, it's very heavy duty. Looks like it's about 3/16 inch plate steel, so I'm not worried at all about it deforming or anything like that. Of course, it's going to have a nice black powder coat finish on it, so I think it could offer a really good solution, especially for companies that have a lot of trucks out there on the road that get beat up. Getting your toolbox on here, having the cab guard, having your light mounts. It's kind of like an all-in-one system. We have plenty of accessories, even with this cab guard, for light bars and stuff like that. So I think all in all, I can provide a really good, easy to install solution for those particular problems. Now, to begin your installation, of course, you'll need your cab guard already on your vehicle. Then we're going to take our crossover toolbox brackets. You can see we've got an alignment tab here that's going to go towards the front. Then we've got one here in the middle, which will go in the slot in the bottom of the cab guard. You can see here's the rear alignment tab, and here's the one in the front. So we'll position that in, and this is going to go on the outside of the cab guard bracket. Lays right down and in. Then we'll take our provided 5/16 carriage bolts, place one in the front, one in the back, then we'll need a 13mm socket. Now we're going to take our socket, a piece of shop towel, and our nylon hex nut, and we're going to push that into our socket. Basically, that's going to hold this as we reach it in there. You can't really get your fingers in there to tighten it up, so we'll use this. Bring our nut in, line it up, and just begin to tighten it down. Just want to get this one secure, then we'll move on to our other one. Now, I like putting both bolts in before we tighten it down. If we tighten this one down and this isn't exactly lined up, it might give you some problems. So I'd put both of them in, that's up to you. Just want that nice and secure. Take our towel off there and we'll move on to our next one. And once we have both of these nice and secure, just going to head over to the other side and repeat that same process there. You can see it's going to give us that nice smooth surface for our toolbox to sit down and on so we can secure it properly. Now, when it comes time to secure your toolbox down to the brackets, you can use a lot of different techniques on doing that. A couple that I've thought of, we could use like a number 14 self-tapping screw through the box, through the bracket. Doing that, I'd use a larger fender washer, kind of like what I've got here. Or you could also use 5/16 inch hex bolt with a couple flat washers and a nylon lock nut. Now let's go over and take a look at the bracket real quick, and I'll show you kind of the benefit I see with these versus these, but it'll be up to you. So with using the self-tapping screws, I think that's going to allow you to get one closer to the back here and one closer to the front. With using a hex bolt, there's a challenge that I see is we could get the one in the back here pretty easy because our hand's going to fit underneath there to get to it. but the one in the front is going to be blocked by a cross plate. So you'd really have to put 2 of these here in the back, not really have anything in the front, which I think is going to hold your box fine. I just prefer to have 1 in the back and 1 in the front, but of course that's going to be up to you. Now positioning is also going to be a pretty big deal on these. With a box with a top like this, you want to make sure you have enough clearance back here for your box to open, because the way that hinge works, it's going to come further towards the back. So you can see we've got ours positioned here so that when we open it, we'll adjust it out so we don't have to worry about any contact. Now if you've got a dual-sided box where the doors open like a gull wing more so, I don't think you'd have to be so worried about that, but definitely keep it in mind. So guys, overall I think it's just going to be a really nice, easy solution for you to be able to get your toolbox back in your truck and have them on hand when you need them.